Hello everyone. In today's session we will discuss about the different data types in Python. So the data types is the classification of data or the categorization of the data items. So the data types mainly represents the kind of value what we store in the variable, and also it decides what kind of operation that can be performed on the particular data. In Python, so whatever the data that we store or the variable what we use, that those are actually the objects. So the data types are the classes defined in Python programming language, and the variables what we create are actually the objects or the instance created for that class. So whenever we create an object, say for example n is equal to 10, so n is an object created for the class int. So like this for every data type, so there is a built-in class and the variables are the instances created for the class. So let us see the different data types that is supported in Python. So the Python data types are classified into various types like numeric data type, then dictionary, boolean, set, sequence type mainly. Again under numeric we have integer, float and complex number, and sequence type, so we have strings, list and tuple. So let us see each data types in brief. So first the data type, that is numeric. So the numeric data type we know where we store the numbers. So in Python under numeric, once again it is classified into integer type, float type and complex numbers. So in integer the whole numbers, positive or negative whole numbers are stored, and in Python so there is no limit. So we can store any small number or any big number in the integer data type, but whole numbers. So the second type is the float, so where data with decimal places or with decimal numbers or with fractional part can be stored. So in float when the data are too big or too small, it will be represented in the exponential form also. And the third type under numeric is the complex number. So it is a mathematical representation of the number stored in the form of real and the imaginary part, or a plus ij or a plus 3j. So that is the imaginary part and the real number. So Python is a programming language where we can directly store the complex number, or in other programming languages we have already seen that. So the real numbers will be stored, we have to store it separately, and the imaginary part stored separately, and then we need to manipulate it. Whereas in Python, so there is a built-in class called as a complex, and the complex numbers can be directly manipulated or directly stored in the form of a plus b j. So here are some of the examples for integer type. So you can see that we can store any small number like negative numbers, or any big positive number can be stored. Similarly float, so we can store it in the exponential form or a small number 1.10, or any big numbers, it is in the form of an exponential format. And the third type under numeric is the complex, that can also be assigned directly to the variable, like x is equal to 3 plus 5j, like that, or sometimes only the imaginary part may be there. So where we can store only the imaginary part as y is equal to 5j and so on. So the next main data type that Python support is of sequence type. The sequence represents the group of elements or group of values or the group of items. So in Python, so the sequence type is the ordered collection of similar or different data types, so that we can say the sequence is homogeneous or heterogeneous data set. We can either store the data of similar kind, or even we can store data of different kinds, a number with strings, with float. So, the different kinds of data can be stored together as a sequence. Under sequence, there are three types. First one is the string, second one is the list, and the third one is the tuple. For the group of elements also we have other data types, but sequence is the one which is ordered collection of data considered under sequence are string, list and tuple. So, the string is one of the familiar data type. So, where we can store the text type of data. So, in Python, string is an array of bytes representing the Unicode characters. So, a string is a collection of one or more characters put in a single quote, double quote or triple quote. So, it should be noted that a string can be defined using any quotes. Within the single quotes we can put the string and assign it to the variable, or double quotes, or within the triple quotes also. So, in the example you can see that how the string is assigned. So, we can assign it in single quotes or even double quotes, and Python is such a flexible language. So, it is so flexible. So, we can notice that so there is no restriction on the type of the code that we have to use, but mainly the triple quotes used when there are multiple lines of text to be assigned to the variable. When the string of multiple lines needs to be assigned to the variable, so then it is assigned within the triple quotes, that too using triple single quotes or triple double quotes. And in Python, so there is no two separate type under string like character and string is considered as one. A character, one single character is also considered as a string type of length 1. So, there is no character data type separately in Python. A character is a string of length 1 and is represented in the built-in str class. So, the second type of sequence data is list. A list is just like the array. So, array we use whenever we need to store the group of elements in one single variable, or one variable name represents the group of elements. So, the list is also like a array where we can store the group of elements together, so which is an ordered collection of data. So, in Python the list can also contains heterogeneous data. So, that means list need not contain only the homogeneous type of data or similar data together. So, we can store different kinds of data in the list, and list is represented within the data in the list are represented within the square bracket. So, then the third one is the tuple, which is similar to the list, but the difference is the list is mutable where tuple is immutable. We cannot make modification to the tuple. Even the tuple is of heterogeneous type. So, we can store the data within the parenthesis. So, here values or the items are grouped together using the parenthesis. So, then also we have one more type called as the Boolean value, where true or false values are stored, and we have set in Python. So, which is also like a group of elements can be stored in a set, but the difference is set is unordered. So, where the position of the data items keep on changing, so that we cannot use indexing. And the last type is a dictionary type. So, where the data is stored in a composite data types we can call. So, where it is stored in the form of key and value pairs, and the dictionary is also mutable, it is dynamic, where we can store or modify later during the execution of the program also. So, here is a syntax of how to define the dictionary in the form of key value pair. So, we will discuss more about this in the next video. Thank you.